Quaid Azam, Pot 64. It was on this occasion that Jinnah had stepped in boldly and filed an application for bail on behalf of Tilak in Bombay High Court before Justice D.D. Davar, an Indian judge. D.D. Davar. The judge, on one pretext or another, at first kept postponing the date of hearing and then finally rejected the bail application without assigning any reason. Justice Davar also maintained that no observation was needed from the bench until the case came up for a trial. Unfortunately, despite all his efforts, Jinnah was not permitted by Tilak to act as his defense counsel, as Tilak, being himself a law graduate, chose to plead his case personally in the High Court. While paying Tilak a tribute in August 1920, Jinnah had said, Mr. Tilak was a shrewd, practical politician. After the split at Surat, where I came to know him first in 1907, Mr. Tilak's party in the Indian National Congress had a very small voice and remained in a minority. Mr. Tilak's conviction by Mr. Justice Davar in a case for sedition removed him from the political arena for nearly 6 years. This was a savage sentence. I was given a retainer for his defense and was instructed to make an application for bail, which was refused by Justice Davar. There arose a serious difference of opinion between him and myself as a counsel, because I refused to adopt my line as a counsel except as I considered best for his defense. This trial continued for 8 days, and on 13 July 1908 it came for judgment. Tilak was sentenced to 6 years rigorous imprisonment, for which Justice Davar was rewarded with knighthood. Jinnah was bitter in his criticism of the dinner organized for Justice Davar to celebrate and refused to attend. Within the kind of views that he then held, the great distance that he had traveled in experience and growth as a civic being, in evolution as an independent-minded and thinking Indian, his success after the initial years of struggle as a reformist with Islam sitting lightly on him, Jinnah, to start with, could hardly follow any other politics than that which he did. His thought for freedom from the insolent might of the ruling British, his political arena had to be, indeed could only be, national. His thinking could not seldom did, in fact, adjust to the provincial milieu. It is here that he faced all his significant political disjuncts, how to ride the national scene without there being any province wholly behind him. Further, he faced the quandary of how to relate to this newly established Muslim League while he being a committed member of the Congress. He could scarcely ignore the League and yet to adopt it as his chosen political vehicle. At this stage of his life, still in his 30s, was to bind himself to a very narrow sectarian focus. Attending the meetings of the Muslim League as a member of the Congress Party was clearly a way out. To this decision, Jinnah added a caveat, a statement in the autumn of 1913, loyalty to the Muslim League and Muslim interest would in no way, at no time, imply even the shadow of disloyalty to the national cause to which his Jinnah's life was dedicated. Was this to enable him to straddle his chasm on the bridge of the apparent principles? But was it the principles or the baser calculation of having a foot in both camps? There exist advocates of both views. The other, and entirely understandable, was all-important matter of political constituency. Here again, Jinnah was clearly disadvantaged. He faced a complex dilemma, for he was not oratorically theatrical or pulpit-bashing rebel rouser. His whole persona was of a self-contained reversed man who worked on reason, clarity of thought, and by incisiveness of